Welcome back to the show, Pet Pals. I'm your host, Arden Moore, and I just got to let you know, yes, I am the host of this new show, Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life radio show. I'm so glad that we can air this show coast to coast to all of you. But I'm also a master certified pet first aid and CPR instructor. I've been teaching people for over a dozen years. I teach a veterinary approved pet first aid class. Are you ready for it? In person and via Zoom, live and interactive, to thousands of people all over the globe. My company is called Pet First Aid for You. That's the number 4 and the letter U. So what I'd like to do to help you all out is I want to take the time right now to share with you some ways that you can keep your cats and dogs safe and far, far away for some foods that are poisonous to them or just strictly not great for their bellies. So I'm going to talk about these biggies that are probably in your kitchen right now. Number 1, chocolate. Number 2, avocados. Number 3, grapes and raisins. Number 4, unbaked bread dough. And finally, peanut butter. But I'm talking about sugar-free peanut butter. So, you ready? Let's get schooled on how to keep your pet from getting poisoned. So let's start with the first one. I don't know about you, but many of us cannot resist a sweet food, chocolate. I'm betting right now many of you have a candy bar. I have candy bars, or you have a piece of chocolate cake or something with chocolate. I know you're aware of the dangers of your dog or cat eating chocolate, especially dark chocolate. But let's dive in a little bit deeper. It's because chocolate contains an ingredient known as theobromine. And depending on the size of your pet and the health of your pet and other factors, eating chocolate can make them very, very sick. Vomiting, diarrhea, and even worse. And the darker the chocolate, the worse the reaction. So let's be preventative. Let's keep those candy bars and other chocolate yummies out of paw's reach. Store them in the refrigerator, in a drawer, in the pantry. Never leave chocolate on the counter or on a coffee table because your curious pet will sniff it out and try to eat it. Now let's talk about avocados. Raise a paw if you love avocados. If you love avocado toast or maybe guacamole with chips, you may say yum, but your dog's stomach may say, uh-oh. The truth is avocados are not poisonous to dogs and cats, but they can definitely cause some serious tummy woes. The biggest danger, though, believe it or not, is the avocado pit. Why? Well, that pit looks just like a tempting ball to so many dogs who dig the sport of fetching. My terrier mix, Kona, loves fetching balls. I toss to her all the time, every day in our backyard. But the problem with the avocado pit is that it is slimy and large. And if a dog grabs the avocado pit, it could quickly seal the airway in the throat. And it's nearly impossible to try to reach your fingers in and grab that slimy, slippery pit with your and pull it out. So in my pet first aid classes, I actually teach a maneuver in which you place your dog belly up and you place your thumbs and forefingers along the side of their jawbone, the underside, and you make a movement up quickly that actually releases the suction of the pit in the throat so that you can unstick it and grab it so your pet can breathe. All right, we're going to talk about grapes. The grapes of wrath when it comes to pets. Grapes are sweet, healthy treats for us two-leggers. Many of us like to eat them as a snack or maybe nibble on or maybe add them to a fruit salad. But the real skinny is this. Grapes are not good for our dogs or cats. Several years ago, I don't know what was happening, but people were freezing grapes and giving them to their dogs as treats. Yikes. Each grape is loaded with sugar. And sugar is definitely not a good ingredient for the physiology of our dogs or cats. Sugar can actually cause the kidneys to shut down in some dogs and cats. But there's also a second danger. That frozen grape is often just about the right size to close off an airway in some dogs. So do us all a favor. Please treat your dog or cat to a pet-safe, healthy treat while you munch on your fruit salad. All right, coming up next. This is a tip for all the bakers out there. Be aware. Baker's yeast and rising bread dough are not your pet's best friend. According to my pals at the Pet Poison Hotline, did you know that pet poisons involving these baking ingredients have soared more than 200% since 2020? Dough left on the counter unsupervised to rise can be quite tempting to our pets. Your pet, as you know, they have noses. They can smell things far better than we can. So baker's yeast and raw dough are very, very toxic to pets. When ingested, the dough can lead to stomach bloat and alcohol poisoning. When a dog or a cat eats that dough, the stomach acts like a warm oven, causing the dough to swell inside. It can cause in some dogs a nasty, life-threatening condition called bloat. Now, here's a chemistry lesson. Your pet can also die from alcohol poisoning because the raw rising dough releases carbon dioxide and ethanol. Not a good mix. And finally, let's talk about peanut butter. Now, many of us slather peanut butter in stuffed toys for our pets like Kongs or Topples. These stuffed treats are just yummy, and they keep our dogs busy and out of trouble when they're home alone. However, there is a rise in popularity of peanut butter that is sugar-free. That is welcome news for all the people out there that are watching their carbs or who are dealing with diabetes. But it's quite dangerous to our dogs. The reason? Xylitol. Yep, that word that starts with an X. Xylitol. That's Xylitol. It is an artificial sweetener. Xylitol's in mouthwashes, toothpaste, chewing gum, mints. We all know that. But now xylitol is showing up in a lot of foods, including peanut butter. Now, remember when I told you earlier that theobromine is pretty nasty in chocolate to our pets? Well, brace yourself. Xylitol is 100 times more dangerous when ingested by our pets than theobromine found in chocolate. Xylitol can cause vomiting and seizures and, yikes, liver failure. So please, please, please read the peanut butter jar label carefully. Make sure it does not contain xylitol. Make sure it does not contain xylitol. Your pet will thank you. Woo! We covered a lot of different foods. This is just a few of the foods, but I wanted you to be aware. And I hope that these food tips will bring out, I hope that these food tips will help you keep your four-legged friend happy and safe. And if any of you out there are interested in taking one of my pet first aid classes, I invite you to go to fourleggedlife.com and you'll see the page to my Pet First Aid for You program. I hope to see you all in class soon. Well, that's it for our show today. Thanks, Pet Pals, for tuning in. And I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Arden Moore. Hey, that's easy. It's on fourleggedlife.com. All my radio shows also air on YouTube. So until next time, this is your four-legged life host, Arden Moore, saying to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there, pause up.
Thanks Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life. Make sure to subscribe so you're up to date with all of our Four-Legged Life content. Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life.